Simplified Chaos, episode 69.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
'69. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Simplified Chaos. I'm sorry I had to.
I'm not mad at it.
This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my husband and co-host, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? Another week of quarantine is behind us.
It's phenomenal.
It is. And in today's episode, we're not going to bitch about quarantine, are we, Jill?
I mean, do we usually bitch about
anything? We don't, but we're not going to do it in this episode either.
No, it's not happening.
What are we going to do in this episode?
We are sharing all of the good.
Oh, shit.
All of the good.
It's time for some good stuff, folks.
Things that were so good this week.
Yes, and we are definitely excited to share that with you all because there was a lot of good stuff that happened this week. And I think it's important that we all just kind of reflect on the good in this time because there's a lot of negative things that are floating around and sometimes it can get really tough to pick out the good things. So we're going to talk a lot of good today. I'm excited about it.
Me too.
But before we dive into that, as always, let's start the show off with a little gratitude. Jilly, what are you grateful for this fine day?
I am grateful for nature.
You're always grateful for nature.
I mean, it's pretty rad. But today, especially, we went on a little family walk. And my sister had told me about this fox's den that was near one of the ponds behind.
That's where we get pizza.
That is the name of our pizza place. Fox's Den. But no, literally it was. And I had yet to see a fox come out of it or be near it. And today we spotted it. And we spotted their little, I don't know what fox babies are called. I don't know if they're pups or...
We'll go with fox babies.
Now I need to research foxes. But we saw the fox and the babies and they were playing. And I know it sounds really corny, but it was really cool to just watch it. It was really rad.
That's awesome.
And we even cut through people's property to get a closer look. And Randy and I both looked at each other and we're like, should we do it? And we're like, yeah. So Randy watched the strollers while I went and got a closer look. And then I manned the strollers while she got a closer look. So
that's awesome. Did you take any pictures?
No, it's just one of those moments where you just want to savor it just by looking and not capturing it on your phone.
Maybe one day, if you stroll by there again, maybe we'll put something on the gram for some of our listeners.
Or the fox babies?
Yeah, little fox babies.
Maybe. What about you?
I am grateful for pre-order alcohol. That was the first experience yesterday doing that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So obviously with quarantine happening, people and businesses are getting very unique with how you're able to obtain their products. And there is a new liquor store around our way, about 5 minutes from us, and they are taking pre-orders online. So it's almost like if you wanted to just order ahead at Home Depot and then go and pick it up instead of having to go and shop. It's kind of the same deal. Like they grab everything, and it seems like they're doing really good business because they're like, listen, it's going to take about a half an hour, and they're also delivering too. I had an option to have it delivered, but I was like, you know what, we're going to go pick up dinner. Let's go ahead and just pick that up while we're out as well. It'll give us another place to go. And it was just really nice. Like, you've ordered ahead. You don't have to walk around the liquor store. And I don't even know if they're allowing that to happen anyway. I mean, they have deemed liquor stores essential. But, we were able to order ahead, just pop in, already paid ahead. So they just tell them the last name, hand you the bag, and you're in and out. So yeah, it was really nice. And I'm hoping that... a lot of these changes are implemented after things kind of go back to, if everything goes back to normal, which people are saying it is, and some people are saying it's not, but that remains to be seen. But I like these conveniences that are kind of popping up because of this situation that we're in.
All I know is that I feel like were zombies when I was in the grocery store today.
Yeah.
It was just so weird.
Yeah, no one's talking to anybody. Everyone's got their mask on.
Some people are. There's one person in Giant who just always talks. Like,
is it a worker?
Yes.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
She talks to everyone, and her line's always a little bit slower because she likes to connect.
I know exactly who you're
person.
talking about.
And one person that was checking out, I guess, she knows a lot of the customers very well because she's there all the time.
Yeah.
And they drew like a smile and it said hi on their mask. And she was like, "Oh, I like your mask today. And you have a smile and blah, blah, blah." Like, she was just, her energy was just so awesome. And because I feel like the person who I was being checked out by, he was just not as open. When I was trying to make conversation with him, like behind my bandana. I'm not sure how muffled I sounded, but it's just odd. You
can't read anybody's reactions unless you're really good at reading eyes, and sometimes people react with their eyes, but it's just like they could be like really pissed off behind there or whatever. It's just like, man, I don't know if this person really thinks I'm funny or not.
We need like Mr. Potato Head eyebrows, like to like put on top, just to be like, okay, now she's happy eyebrows. Angry eyebrows.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I am curious to see what types of systems will stay the same after this and what systems will change, but it's definitely different. It's kind of cool to experience just because it is so wild. And
I think one of the cool things about this is like, I think we're really realizing, I think maybe 10 years ago, as like Amazon and a lot of these online retailers really started like taking off and e-commerce became like a huge thing. We were like, oh, it's going to be the death of the malls and the death of these, retail outlets and stuff like that. And I'm not so sure about that anymore. I think people are kind of realizing that they miss that interaction that they have by going out and going shopping and trying stuff on. And yes, e-commerce is definitely a convenience, but, I still feel like people are just, now that this has been taken away from us, I think people really understand that, I do like the interaction when I go to the mall. And, the mall's not for you and I, like that. It causes high anxiety, I think, for both of us. But, for those folks who do enjoy that, I think, now that this isn't, it's been taken away from them, I really feel like the stores and stuff that make it through this whole economic downturn and whatnot, they're going to do well when everything kind of goes back. So, it has its cycles. I think there's still a little bit more pain before we get through this, but hopefully there's some bright spots in the near future for all of us.
There's bright spots.
There's bright spots now, but
everywhere.
I mean,
but
you know what I'm saying.
I feel you.
Yeah. All right.
You want to focus on some good stuff?
Let's talk about the good.
Can we first just recognize that we are saving money?
Holy shit, are we saving money?
We're not going anywhere, so gas is non-existent.
No, I mean, I was just really thinking about it, and I was like, man, I have a lot of extra money in our bank account, right now. And we've been doing our once a week takeout, which is kind of something that we were doing anyway when we were not in quarantine. We're obviously saving on the drinks. We're not having our 2 cocktails at dinner.
Yeah.
Like when we used to go out, but we've been taking turns like buying for the whole household. And if you didn't listen to our last episode last week about our co-living situation, I highly recommend it. But some weeks it's our turn to buy the meal for the family. Some weeks it's our co-living partner's turn.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, just saving on gas. And it's funny right now because gas is dirt cheap.
It is.
It's like $1 here. It's $1.79. I want to say a gallon. We haven't seen that in forever, but just not having to put gas in the car every week has been just a saver right there. And it's like only $25 a week, but that shit adds up when you really think about it. And then obviously, like I said, the drink situation when we usually go out. We've been saving money there too.
I feel like we're only spending money on food. And
every now and then alcohol.
Yeah.
We really we haven't spent money on alcohol, I think, since this whole thing started. We just finally ran out of what we had and needed a quick pick me up. I think we've spent a little bit on wine. We've been drinking a little bit more wine than normal, and we're not drinking every night like we were earlier. We've really spaced. Yeah, we've spaced it out now.
That was fun.
I want to kind of start with the first good thing this week. if that's okay, because I think it's a direct result of us saving money.
I know you're going with this.
So Lucille has been obsessed with our neighbor's trampoline, and it's older kids that are on the trampoline, and she really doesn't have that much freedom when she's on there because there's other kids jumping around, and there's no netting on the side, so I feel like I have to hover over her all the time when she's on that trampoline. I'm sure you're this. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you feel the same way when she's over there. So I was like, you know what? She's really loves the trampoline. It's exercise. Like, let's go ahead and buy one. So we bought a nice little 7-foot trampoline. That's good for small kids. It's a starter one. And if she still continues to love the trampoline, later on down the road, then maybe we'll look at getting a bigger one. But because we were saving money, like a lot of money, like this was a no-brainer purchase. I was like, you know what? I was like, Jill, I'm buying this. And you're like, cool.
But you consulted me first, which I appreciate. I feel like we're very intentional now. And you even told me, you're like, because I think I mentioned it first, but you'd been thinking about it and plotting it in your brain. I said, I think I thought about it for a
half an hour before I approached you about it. And I was just like,
no, but I mentioned it and right away you were like, oh, I've been thinking about that. I actually I found one on Amazon. I was like, oh shit. Like we were definitely on the same page with this.
We were definitely,
And I kind of, thinking back, I kind of wish we would have got a bigger one with the net because I really wish I could get on it. And knowing that there's a limit, I'm like, shit. So if anyone wants to buy a trampoline for their kid, highly think about getting a bigger one that you can get on, especially if you like to play. Because now I'm like, damn it, I want to get on it and I can't.
Eventually.
I know. I'll let her have all the fun, her bouncy, exactly. As she says.
Well, the other crazy thing this weekend, we learned how to anchor that shit down too. The day after I put this thing up, we have like torrential storms pop through and, luckily it didn't blow away. And at the one point where it almost blew away, and I mean, it wasn't going far because right now it's on our patio. I have these planter boxes that have wheels on them that lock in place, and I was able to put them over the bars that hold it on the ground. So that thing is pretty stable right now. I'm not worried about it going anywhere, but just hearing her when she saw the trampoline, you guys were out when I put it together. You guys went over to your mom's house and I put it together myself, which was awesome. Like I like doing those kinds of things, but like her just walking down the steps of the porch, just going trampoline. I was like, that made it all worth it, and obviously she's been getting good use out of it this week. So that was the first good thing.
That was really awesome of you to do that. Like I
really enjoyed it.
It's, I don't know. I'm going to just spew some gratitude at you because we gave you like 2.5 hours of alone time for you to just do what you wanted to do. And I got home and I was like, what did you do? And you're like, I just laid around.
I think I said I put my hand down my pants.
Something like that. And then all of a sudden you said, there's something on the patio. And I'm like, there's something on the patio. And then I saw the trampoline. I'm like, damn, he spent his time alone putting something together for Lucille. Like, how fucking rad is that?
It's worth it.
That just speaks really loud. Just like, that was just really awesome of you to do that.
I enjoyed it. And it went together. It went together easy.
I think it's awesome.
Thank you, baby. What's good with you?
Oh my God, there's so much good to share, and I probably won't be able to share all of it because we're rambling so much, which is great. I love rambling. But I mean, the bonding time that we're having together has been phenomenal. I know some people are probably like, I can't take it anymore. And there are moments where, nope, there aren't moments. I feel like I'm okay. I feel like I'm okay with all the family time. Like it's not... I thought it might be too much and it might be a lot of being at home, but now it's like, because it's becoming my new norm, I'm really, 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 really enjoying this time of slowness and just being, and I'm getting to bond with our neighbors more, like a specific neighbor.
Yeah.
Not that she's listening, but I've been bonding with Laura more, and it's been so cool just hanging out with her and her 2 boys. And Lucille is just digging all of their
she's getting
toys
her social,
and chalk and water table. And it's been so freaking nice just getting to enjoy our neighbors more because we're all at home. And it's like they're checking out at work and they're like, I need to get outside. Let's just play and hang out. And it's just been really rad connecting to our neighbors. And we're not 6 feet away. Sorry, but not sorry. But you know what? It's just been really fun just being. That's the word. Just being.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think part of the reason why things are working out so well here is that, and I think we say it time and time again, is that we communicate very well too. Like, we both are working, you started working this week, teaching virtually. You're doing your other thing as well. And part of it is just communicating when you need time to step aside and go out or not go out because you're not going anywhere, but, come up into the bedroom and do your thing for a while. So
that sounds weird when you're like, go into the bedroom and do your thing.
Your work.
I know, but it's because it's the bedroom. It's
Fair
like
enough.
My office. I know. But in case anyone's listening, they're like, what is her thing?
Yeah, she's got an office up here. Just like I got an office in the basement now. But yeah, no, I think that's why it works and why, being around this family has worked out so well is that, we have our space in this house. People are in and out. We have the outdoors. One of us might walk Lucille around while the other one's getting stuff done. But yeah, it's been great.
And I actually just put an Insta story out. I think it was yesterday about work-life balance. And one of my tips was just like communicating it, like just telling everybody that you need it is like huge. And I think sometimes we're afraid to say, hey, I need this for myself, because it's not selfish.
It's not. And the more you hold it in and don't say anything, that's how you're going to start lashing out at folks.
I show up to be an impatient mom, a really bitchy wife, and who wants that? Not me.
Not me.
Exactly. So I did just say all the bonding time that we're having together, and I think through this situation, it's making me even more grateful for everything we have in our home, because we did have an incident that was not so pleasant, but one of our dogs peed on our bed.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of me raging and getting really pissed off, that was intended.
I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on.
I was just like, well, at least we have a bed that the dogs can pee on. Like, immediately, that's what my mind went to.
Yeah.
And it just makes me grateful for every single item we have in our home, and just appreciating just being here and knowing that we're safe, we're okay, and we're just making the most out of it.
Yeah, because that's like one of the most uncommon things. Like, that's never happened before. And like our reaction was just like,
Oh, yeah, the dog peeing on the bed?
Yeah, that just
I mean, the
never
smell
happened.
was unpleasant. I got into bed and I cuddled up and I was like, oh, shit.
But it was just like,
that?
I mean, we took care of that, that stuff. But I mean, we could have gotten really pissed off or whatever and mad at the dogs. But I mean, at that point, it's too late anyway. We don't even know which dog it was. But there's no point of it. I mean, it's just like, you know what? We can throw this shit in the washer. We can, put shit on the mattress. And
I still have to do that.
Yeah. But we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
We have clean sheets now.
That's right.
And we have a bed.
We do.
That's awesome.
All right.
So I also had something else about...
You want to go out of turn?
I want to go out of turn,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll allow it.
About a relationship.
Oh.
I know it's quarantine romance, hashtag, but our date nights have been looking differently. We've been having midweek day dates, and it includes an hour drive to an hour total.
It's a total trip.
Trip hour to a local coffee shop. We go and support them, and I think we talked about it before, and it's just been so, like, I look forward to Thursdays even more so, because we get to just check out for a little bit, get a latte, a croissant, and just drive back. And it's something so small that has really been adding a lot of joy to my week.
And again, it's one of those situations where you order ahead online, you tell them when they're going to pick it up, and you walk in, it's already paid for, they hand it to you, and you're out. It's awesome.
It's pretty
like,
seamless.
So, I mean, we drive there, you pick it up, we drive back, and then, we get back to work. But yeah, that's my little private appointment in my calendar every week.
You got to schedule that shit.
I do. Well, I do, because people will schedule meetings for if that time's open. So yeah, no, it's on my calendar as a private appointment.
I like that.
So another thing that happened this week that was good.
Yeah. We
had sushi for the first time since I can remember. Did I take one of yours?
I had that on my list.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some crossover here, but Tuesday night, our co-living partners were like, we're thinking about getting hibachi. Are you guys in? And this place also does sushi. And we're like, yeah, we're ordering sushi and we're getting hibachi. And it was amazing.
Not me. I was like straight sushi.
I miss sushi so much.
I know.
And it was just nice to be able to have some good sushi.
It was such a delight.
It was. And some good hibachi too, which was also great left over the next day for lunch.
So
Hashtag clean eats.
Something else good that is happening is that because we have so much time on our hands, I feel like I have more time to be creative and just do some more cooking.
You were pretty creative today.
There seems to be a lot of people out there that are like baking their hearts out, which I think is fucking awesome. But today, shout out to our friend Bev. I think she posted something a while ago about
what's up, Shug?
Something a while ago about how they did their like a Thanksgiving dinner just for the hell of it. And I kept thinking like that was really awesome, but I kept thinking like I don't have time to do that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's bullshit. Like of course I have time. I just have to make the time. And now we have more time than ever, especially on the weekends when I'm not virtually teaching. So I was like, you guys down for like a Thanksgiving dinner? And of course,
who's going to say no to that?
So I made some sourdough stuffing. I got a rotisserie chicken. Like it was a shortcut.
Yeah, no turkey. We did the rotisserie chicken. I mean, let's be honest, folks. Thanksgiving's not about the turkey. It's about the sides. The turkey is just there to make you sleepy and take a nap. Give me them sides. Or a rotisserie chicken.
I don't know. I think now it's such a great time to take all of our favorite things about certain holidays and just incorporate it in your days now while we have the time, because holidays are about family time. And if you can cook some of those meals now, like why not? I think that'd be an awesome idea.
Well, it was an awesome idea because it was amazing. That and the Redskin mashed potatoes.
With garlic.
Hell yeah.
And half. Actually, it was with heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream. No, it was awesome.
And then I was able, I baked pumpkin bread today too. Like, who
that's
am
what
I?
That's where I thought you were going with the baking and creativity. But yeah, that was really delicious. And you deconstructed that shit.
Well, it's because I didn't wait for it to cool and I just dumped it and I couldn't wait. And that recipe will be posted. So if anyone wants a delicious grain-free pumpkin chocolate chip bread, it will be on my blog, The Clean and Simple Life, coming soon.
Yeah, that loaf was made around 11 a.m. and it was gone by 4. Like completely gone. It was delicious.
Oh, and it was healthy too.
It was healthy.
Yum.
So I've got another good thing this week. Zoom. Obviously, I know people have been doing a lot of happy hours for Zoom. One of the things is, I've been scheduling time for me and my parents. My parents live in Delaware. My brother and his wife live on the Eastern Shore, and it's not like we can all get together or anything like that. And here, if you drive into Delaware, they're going to pull you over anyway. So it's not like I can go visit my parents. So we've been scheduling Zoom meetings every Thursday, and Lucille is really just having a ball with it. And I'm just so glad that they get to see her and see how she's developing right now. Because right now, I really wish that we can go over and have a meal with them and they can actually interact with Lucille like one-on-one. But Zoom has been great for that. She's singing to them. She's doing her thing in the bedroom while we're talking to them. I know we were talking about good things on a sadder note. A good buddy of mine who I went to high school with and played baseball with passed away, and it's sad, but we did a Zoom just to kind of with people I went to high school with who I haven't talked to in years. Of most of these people, we had a Zoom just to kind of talk about him and talk about the good times that we had, and it was just so great to connect with those folks. We were on the Zoom for about 2 hours and just kind of going down memory lane, and it was fantastic. We were bullshitting with each other. It's like we hadn't not seen each other since high school. It was awesome. So, I'm just grateful that we have this technology and are able to do things like this. Given the circumstances, because if it was 20 years ago, we wouldn't even know that this happened and wouldn't be able to connect and wouldn't have, a place to gather to, honor his memory and stuff like that. So I'm just really grateful that I had the opportunity to just meet up with those folks for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's so interesting how just certain events that traditionally are done a certain way have completely shifted, and everyone is so adaptable to just finding a way to connect and be together. And yeah, I just think it's powerful how like we're all connecting really well. And it's, to me, I don't hear a lot of the bad news because I don't tune in to the bad news. So I don't know. I'm just grateful for all the people who are constantly on social media just sharing all of the great stuff that is going on right now, because I know a lot of shitty things are being spread out there. And
Well, and it's just to kind of give you an idea of how we came up with this episode. John Krasinski, the Jim from The Office,
who is sexy.
I know. My wife will leave me for him in an instant. Emily Blunt, stay alive. No, I'm just kidding.
I love Emily Blunt.
He did this thing on YouTube, and he's got 3 episodes now, and it's called, what is the Good News, something or other. It's like the Good News Network. Like he's being a news anchor and just reporting good news. And, it was kind of, Jill and I were kind of back and forth on what we wanted to talk about this week for the podcast. And like that kind of brought things up. And I was like, what if we just do, you were like, let's do a good news episode. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And like, it made perfect sense. So, shout out to Jimbo there.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
Freaking The Office. I love
Absolutely.
The Office. All right.
So you have one. I got one more, but I'll give you time.
Oh no, Reese is crying.
Poor Reese. Our nephew is just started teething, and it's been a little bit of a rough day for him. Hopefully he'll be feeling a little bit better soon. But I'm sure that it's those first couple teeth that are coming in. It could be a little brutal, but yeah. Feel bad for the little guy.
And I am also, some good that's been happening this week is that it's just the time factor. Like I can't stress that enough, how more relaxed I feel because I have time. Like I'm reading more every night before I go to bed because I'm not stressed about waking up at 4:50 a.m. to go all the way to school to teach. I'm reading as late as I want until I get sleepy. And I'm really enjoying that book that you recommended that you had.
Start with Why.
It's just been adding a little bit of positivity at the end of my night, but also kind of relaxes me before I go to bed. And then just time to cuddle with you. It sounds really cheesy, but last night you were probably trying to get it in.
You know I was.
And I took full advantage and was like, listen, this isn't happening. I thought that in my head. I was like, but I really just want to cuddle with you. And I feel like weeknights I never feel like I can because I go to bed so early, usually, to get up for school, and you go to bed a lot later that by the time you come upstairs, I'm asleep. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will say that this is probably the latest that we've ever podcast too. Like it's almost 10 o'clock at night. And I know for some folks are like, whoa, that's late for y'all. That's late for Miss Jilly here.
Yes.
Although she has been staying up later now and has been sleeping in a little bit more. It's nice that we get up at the same time. You do your thing for a little bit because you have Lucille for a couple hours. So you do your thing for about an hour, half hour. It's been half hour now since Lucille's been sleeping in a little bit more. But yeah, we've adjusted to our new schedule, and I love it.
I have one more good thing. Well, I mean, I have a lot, but this week was the first time I was able to Google Hangout or Google Meet with my students, and 21 kids showed up. All at the same time, which was kind of crazy because
21 out of 25?
27.
27, okay.
Which was amazing. And I got to see their faces, and they were some of them were like so shocked that, like, what's happening? I've never been on this thing before. And their faces were just hysterical. So just being able to see their faces after, has it been a month since I've seen them?
No, it's been probably I think it's 5 or 6 weeks at this point.
So being able to see them like I've been giving assignments and grading them and doing videos and stuff, but I haven't really been able to interact face to face with them. And this was like the first time that I could see their faces in a long time. And the feedback that I got from them and just seeing what their chats were about, you know, on the sidebar conversations I just felt like I was kind of in the classroom again. So that was just a real joy to be able to do that on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I've got one last one.
Cool.
And then we can head up to our other segments here. But Lucille is now getting out of her bed and walking to her door when she wakes up at night. And she doesn't wake up often. The last 2 nights or so, she's woke up a couple times. I guess going through some changes or whatever. But she woke up on Thursday night and it was just kind of like moaning and groaning in bed. So usually if that happens, you know, I try not to let that happen too long so that she doesn't wake up her nephew or her cousin. Mm-hmm. And so I just go in there and usually just rub her back for a little bit. And then she usually falls back asleep. Well, she fell back asleep. I came out and got into bed and like literally 2 minutes later, she started moaning again. And when the monitor came on, I see her sliding out of bed and then walking over towards the door. And I just started laughing so hard. And I think you're like, what is it? And I was like, she just rolled right out of bed and walked to the door. So went in there, tried to put her to sleep again. Same thing happened. She got up and we ended up bringing her in our room for that matter. But like now last night, she did the same thing. When she was ready to get up, she got out of bed and walked to the door. So it's the small things. I see it as a sign of progression, you know, her realizing her boundaries. I do too. You know, and soon enough she'll be able to open the door. So I think that, you know, maybe in the next couple of weeks, we will just have a surprise visitor in our bed.
And she does know how to say surprise. Not really in context right now.
Yeah,
like she'll say it randomly, like surprise, or like surprise for what? But yeah, it
is funny what she does have in context and some of the things that she doesn't right now. Like,
so she's really good at cursing.
Yeah.
Really good. And I'm kind of a proud parent because of that. Some people were like, that's wrong. And I'm like, it's actually really cool. Like she says, oh shit.
Oh shit, son of a bitch, and god damn it.
Oh my gosh. It's hilarious.
What are we going to do?
Right?
What are we going to do?
And she says it in context.
She says it in context. She'll drop the milk. God damn it. I love it. Anyways, yeah. Parents of the year right here. Mm-hmm. Anything else good, Jilly? Or we we cover it? I mean, we could probably go on.
We could.
And we're already
I just can't stress just focusing on the light has just been amazing, and all of the time that we have, I think we're just taking full advantage of it and just really soaking in it, enjoying it.
Accepted it. I think that's the biggest thing, and I kind of just verbalized that this week with some coworkers, is that I feel good now because I've accepted the fact that this is what it is. Like, yeah, it's out of our control. You can only control what you can control, which is yourself. So yeah, I've accepted it, and I'm glad that we did this episode where we're just talking about the good things, because it could be it's very easy to focus on the negative. Like, it's extremely easy to focus on the negative, and sometimes it's really difficult to focus on the good things. But you know, when we really started thinking about it, I was like, there's a lot of good that happened this week, and we wanted to just share that. So we hope that this was a motivating episode for everybody, and we hope that you're able to reflect on that. And I'm probably getting ahead of ourselves on the Take Action Challenge.
It's all good.
Yeah, but Jilly, any resources you want to share?
So I put for my resources that John Krasinski's, is it a YouTube channel? Or
it is a YouTube channel.
Just to check it out.
The Good News Network, I think.
I mean, not only is he good looking and attractive, but he's also funny, and he gives you some good news that just is very light and endearing. So definitely check that out. And I did find...
It's called Some Good News.
Is it?
SGN.
Okay, cool.
Some good news.
So we will put that in the show notes, of course, for you to check out. And for the quote
of the day, Jilly.
I have two. That's okay.
Go for it. You've been giving us multiple quotes.
Yes.
Quotes of the day.
Actually, I have 3 because I wanted to start out with one, but then I
shit.
forgot to mention it. I know. 3. Sue me. Here we go.
Go for it.
When you focus on the good gets better.
Love it.
Second quote. At the end of the day, you can focus on what's tearing you apart or what's holding you together.
I prefer the latter.
Agreed. And I couldn't find who said any of these, so all of these right now are just out there in the universe. Confucius. Aristotle.
Socrates Johnson.
Stop it. Herbie Hancock.
Oh, God. We're just going to go down this rabbit hole.
Tommy Boy is such a great movie. Anyway, the last quote
R.I.P.
is...
Tommy Sr. Brian Dennehy. Tommy Sr. from the movie Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost him this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Natural causes.
Not COVID?
Not COVID.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good. So the last quote to end on is, worry won't stop the bad stuff from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good.
Ooh, that's deep. I like that
so.
one. Good quote to end on there, Jilly.
I thought so.
Nice. And take action?
Did I
already say it?
Well, I mean, your take action is to focus on the good, friends. Whether it's...
That seemed obvious.
I mean, whether it's speaking it, writing it, and just sharing it with your partner or a family member, like just make it a habit, especially now. Just try not to give power to the negative shit out there. Give power to the positive aspects of your life.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Good quote to end on.
That's not a quote. That's me.
That's good.
Oh, I'm glad it's
super
good.
duper.
That's swell, folks.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
All right, folks. That's going to do it for this nutty episode this week. Actually, it just got nutty at the end here. But if you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review or simply sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action. And action is how we are able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See you later, guys.